Why does it smell like there's a small toddler under the
Let's just go with it.
It's about the size of a baby's arm.
Yeah, baby's arm.
Holding an apple.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh.
We got to round that one
It's a
home.
good old cock reference. Go ahead and start the recording there.
It's already started.
Shit.
Welcome, everybody, to multiplayer mode. We changed the name up. We're going with it. I like it.
Good name.
Good name.
Yeah.
Hype Stadium here, and
Great
we'll
beer.
go around the table once again.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, everybody. Justin here, also known as Elon Musk's sugar daddy. Should I go with that one? I like that one. Hey, a lot of
You said
capital
you're going
goes
to change
into
it
that.
every single week.
Yeah,
So
so that's week 2. So we're gonna keep it moving. So
Hey, it's Scott here, otherwise known as Scotty Two Hands, otherwise known as Scotty 2 Feet. So,
you got 2 feet now.
well, yeah, I'm not talking about the things attached to my legs, though. You know what I'm trying to say. I'm gonna go ahead and pass this off to the housing edition sitting next to me.
Yeah, how's it going, guys? It's Ridge, man. I'm not. I'm gonna continue going with no nickname. I don't need a nickname.
Those mountains are blue.
Already basically a nickname. It's basically a last name. And if you think about it, I have 3 last names.
Sure.
All 3 of my names just sound like last
I
names.
love the mystery. I don't know your middle name.
Perfect. Well, nobody will.
We'll
need to know
never
it. Scott
find
probably
out.
knows it. That's fine.
Wilson.
He also has 2 hands, 2 ears, 2 nostrils.
2 inches.
Just you're adding so much. he's adding so much gravity to this naming convention. I love it. Thank you.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
Cool. Yeah. So I'm excited for this week. We, as everyone could tell, we switched up the orientation. We got we're learning the Nintendo polish that we added to the
See the character of
cast.
the room. This is good.
This
Showcasing it.
long thing. They're gonna wonder if we're like in a barn.
Yeah, we're not. We're not in a barn.
We're in a barn.
If you're wondering, we're
that's
not.
closer to right than wrong.
It's the
It
multiplayer
is,
barn.
Right.
It was built by the Amish.
Yeah, we turned our cans into cans. So
And I am not Amish. All right. Sorry.
Guys, we have a few things to go through today.
Yeah.
We got some gaming news. We got some card news.
That's right.
we do.
And
Cards. I love cards.
Potentially even some more news to get into. The thing that I'm really excited about, me being a streamer, and a
Humble
horror
brag.
streamer, like to be more exact, I speedrun Resident Evil 2.
Yeah.
So
did
that
not
was
know
the
that.
game. Did you guys ever play the original game of Resident Evil?
Yes.
Resident Evil 2?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like
PlayStation,
you go
right?
into the door and
Yep.
the door
There's the animation.
comes up, and then
Yeah.
you go into a dark room, and then it's like nothing.
And it was like
Sounds
the
interesting.
fixed camera
Yeah,
every
yeah.
single time.
Yeah. I loved it. I mean,
Love it.
that was like, okay, what do we do here? We don't have the technology to make this, an actual door. It was like, oh, just go to like a new scene and just do it. And it was scary.
Yeah.
That's super scary. So I don't think I played that game, but they kept that.
Sounds like
through
you
the
have.
first 3 or 4
Yeah.
games.
Couple, I think 4 is when they might have changed it up, but like Resident Evil 1, 2, and maybe 3 was that exact same way. And kind of like what you guys were saying, it almost did add a completely different like scariness factor to it because it was a fixed camera. Like there could be a zombie right next to you and you have no idea.
clue.
Right, when the
when you're
door
going in.
opens.
The game
and
was
then
revolutionary.
It's just, and
It
it's
changed,
just like a,
like the war.
like a dark room. You can't see anything, and then you're in there, and you got to fight whatever's in there, or if it's, might just be like a utility closet. I have a great story about, I think, Nemesis is Resident Evil 3,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So I
one.
think that was probably the first game that I played, the first game that I remember playing. And this is back in the day where you had to go rent, games most of the time.
Your Blockbuster, Family
family
Video.
video,
Yeah,
all that.
yeah,
kind of
family video.
Family video.
Better prices.
And I would just as a kid, I don't know. I'm like, oh, that looks kind of cool. I saw zombies and guns or whatever, and I'm gonna get that. So I grabbed Nemesis. I don't know how old I was, but I was young. And the guy, I think maybe he was hitting on my mom. I don't know.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, he was like, hey.
I have so many questions.
I know. Well, we're gonna get there. He was like, "Hey,"
Okay.
and then he walked over. Listen, he walked over to like they had a stand of like game guides, and he ripped the front cover off one of the game guides and was like, "Can't sell this now," and he gave it to me. Yeah, because
He was definitely trying to bang.
because he wanted
He was definitely trying to bang your
He's
mom.
planting the seeds.
Gosh,
She's over there just
Well, but
trying
also-
to
Shoot
him a
manifest
shot.
the reality he wants.
At the time, I was like, "Oh, this is cool," because like those early Resident Evil games, like if you screwed something up early on, like you literally couldn't move through the game. Right, you have to go back and backtrack.
It was pretty linear, and on those games, I
and
believe
he
so.
was
Yeah.
clearly thinking, this kid ain't gonna be able to beat this game without reading this guide. So he just gave me the guide for
The
free.
real game was
Probably not
the
all he
game.
was thinking.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
He said, that's your game? here's my game.
Yeah, he's like, I have the guide to banging kids' moms, and this is step one.
Step one.
Now, was Dad in the car?
He had to demonstrate value by showing how strong he was, that he can rip off the cover.
So this is what we're talking about, guys. So this is like the OG Resident Evil, and you can see everything is completely fixed. And this is the remake that I speedrun, and they try to keep everything kind of true to how it originally was. Yeah. But they obviously added something different to it. They added a completely new aspect to it. The reason why I'm bringing this up right now, and the reason why I'm so excited, is we got a new Resident Evil game coming out.
Right, tomorrow.
Tomorrow, exactly.
Which is the day after today.
Which is the day after today.
Friday,
or probably the
Friday,
day you're
May
listening
7th.
to this video.
Friday, May 7th. So it may be out already if you're watching this afterwards.
Yes, exactly. And that game would be Resident Evil 8 Village. The Village.
Not to be,
Whoa, watch that language.
not to be confused
Got real
with
close
M.
to the
Night
word.
Shyamalan's The Village, which has got a great twist at the end.
Yes, not to be confused with that one. This is actually a sequel to the Resident Evil 7 game, which was Biohazard, which took place in like that log cabin down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Yeah.
Oh, you know
That's
all
the-
of this.
Yeah.
You're a big horror fan.
I am, and I just got done beating this one. So in that game,
movies are in Louisiana. A lot of scary movies.
you
in
get
general,
down in the bayou, man. You never know what you're gonna get.
and things are like
Crocodiles, dude.
like they're a lot of
Farmer
things are
Fran.
old there, and so when things are old, like they're creaky and they're mysterious and they're a little dirty and it's like
a lot of history for sure.
Old in history like is scary to some degree.
A lot of vampire flicks out there in Louisiana.
Speaking of vampire.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing that kind of actually makes way to what we're discussing right now. So you know what? I'm just gonna play this trailer.
Yeah,
it's actually a recent one. I have not seen it yet.
Live reaction.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
Cool. I'm gonna pull it up for the folks.
Okay.
So is there gonna be like Twilight in this?
Capcom, I love it.
Is there gonna be Twilight?
Yeah, you mentioned vampires. Are you?
I'm Team Edward.
They're really showing that big open world here.
We await the light at
I bet it's still linear though, right?
Yeah, most of us have not. Has anyone seen this?
Nope.
I've not seen this.
And in death,
Live
glory
reaction.
to Mother Miranda.
Was that the umbrella symbol there?
It
in the
was the
center?
umbrella
Looks like
symbol.
a little
Good
ceremony
catch.
spot here. A little horseshoe.
Yeah, half moon.
My grandma took me to see the first Resident Evil movie.
Really?
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Good movie.
I like it a lot.
Tell us it's
Dude, look at this.
I have no
This
idea who
so
that is.
Cinematic. Those are dudes in prison.
Is the original like content? Is it like a Japanese story? Am I not saying that right? I need to. I'll pull it up and take a look.
Capcom. So
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you said Japanese correctly.
Gosh, that
Slow
scenery. That is.
The details amazing.
That. Oh my gosh.
the music. Come on now. This is on.
Oh.
I love the
Stop
light
shouting.
shading that's going on.
Shading is amazing.
Yeah.
Tell me what is going on around here.
It doesn't make
What
any
is
sense.
going on?
I have no idea
Mother
what's going on
Miranda
around
has
here.
always protected us.
You escaped my little brother's idiot
There's got to be a
games, did
mansion
you?
somewhere, right? You can't have Resident Evil
Who's
without a
that?
mansion.
That's right. Well, that's what they were mentioning.
Let's see how
blood.
special
She's
you are.
she's sucking something.
Nice. See
it's a
see what
vampire.
that mouth
Is
do.
this all that's left from your entire village? All that's left?
Resident
a
Evil,
movie.
known
There
in
is no
Japan
one
as
left.
Biohazard.
Oh, that would make sense. Why the
Bust out
seventh,
with
Japanese
this.
the
horror
seventh
video
one
game.
was Biohazard.
Lycans and gentlemen,
It's amazing
we
the
thank you for
the
waiting.
level of
And now let the games begin.
Games.
the evolution of these games. When you go back to the way they play, is totally different. The way they look, the cinematics of them.
Was that Gollum with an axe?
Looked like a gravity hammer to me.
Okay, gravity hammer. Oh, okay. We're going into Halo. Let's go. That. Okay. That's new.
Ooh, look at that cut.
Ethan Winters.
Look at that cut.
He looked like he had a couple big
At that point that you made, Oz, we were talking to that for a second.
Yeah.
Winters.
That's the Roman numeral for 8.
Oh, I see what they did.
All
Roman numeral,
right.
little Roman numeral
Yeah, I
trick.
said that already.
So one
looks
of these
awesome.
things drew fans absolutely crazy. Can anyone guess what that was?
Bad or good crazy? When you mean crazy, it could be
Wait,
good or
wait.
bad.
Just right here?
From this particular trailer?
A good crazy. The thing was in there that became very, very popular very, very fast. Can anybody think
Yeah.
of what it was?
And that whole thing we just watched.
Yes.
My guess
The
is
chick
a
with the
comment that.
Okay.
No. Okay, a close second then.
No, sorry.
Um,
Yes, that was right.
I want to hear it say.
I'm curious if it has to do with the line about let the games begin, because you kind of were like, ooh, but
Like a
at the
Saw
same time,
reference?
like it maybe suggested that there was maybe like a battle royale or something that could be made out of that. I don't know. This is me.
It's a good guess.
Kind of thinking in the Apex terms.
Ooh,
I like that.
Yeah.
Multiplayer?
So here's the thing.
Maybe. Let me get my
Fans know. Oh yeah.
Yeah, let me guess. I'm gonna say that it's the way that you wield your weapons.
Elaborate on that.
Resident Evil is known for when you move, at least the games that I played, all the way up until 4, maybe more, because 4 is the last one I played.
Okay.
Is that when you're moving, you have to physically stop, then you point and aim your gun. This game, it looks like now you can move and shoot at the same time.
Like reality.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
so that's a good guess. In the later games, that was no longer the case.
So they resolved that a while ago.
It's more normal now. Scott mentioned this before, I think, where well,
Yeah.
hold on. Scott mentioned it before where like you were kind of walking slower,
Ardar.
or was that Rage that said like
Yeah, yeah.
you kind of like walk slower in this? That stayed. So like Resident Evil 7, like being a speedrunner in Resident Evil 2, I was able to run more. And then in Resident Evil 7, because I think they wanted more of the suspense, they really made it so like you gotta walk, and I think they kept it in this game maybe because it was direct sequel as well, and it builds that suspense that maybe Resident Evil 2 didn't have. But
It's like the Michael Myers effect, where like you can run from him, he's just gonna walk after you.
He's gonna catch you.
He's gonna catch you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't get in the car and go. Like oh, the car won't start.
There's
You
a
just
Michael
sit there.
Myers game, too. It's pretty suspenseful.
is there?
I'm not playing that.
So let's go back to something really quick. Scott, you hit it on the head. This is I can't say the name, Lady Dimitrescu or something like that. She's a vampire. She was sucking on his arm. His arm.
Yeah,
she was
yep.
sucking on the arm earlier, and she became a thing of popularity in the Twitter world and in Resident Evil just in general. Everybody loves her. And there's
This
two.
is her first cameo in the game?
Yes.
She's
so
a new character.
Yes. So she's new to this game, but in the very first trailer, she was announced.
Yep.
Okay. So what is it that people latched onto that she's got?
There's two like big things.
Yep, there-
I know,
there
there's
is.
definitely
There
two
is.
There's two big things out there, I think, as to why.
It's a pair of tits.
Whoa.
Exactly.
They're called breasts.
And
That's why we have two hands.
Here's the best part, guys. Here's the best part. Okay, they went so far as to like apparently there's like a photographer mode in this game.
Oh.
And Capcom like legit posted a video of like watching this person.
Men are disgusting. This is ridiculous.
What in the
I'm
world?
dead serious.
I thought you were gonna say like her pale legs looking like hot dogs on the beach. You know what I'm talking about?
What kind of hot dogs are you eating that are white?
So
I know.
Turkey.
turkey dogs aren't white.
This has become a level of discussion. Her and along with the sisters. So all these people are vampires, and I'm assuming they're the main
All
villains.
females
of the
are
game.
vampires. It seems like they're putting a heavy emphasis on the female vampire.
That's a very good point that I did not even think of.
But it probably appeals to the main
I mean,
audience, right?
it's hard to be sisters.
They're sexualizing the vampires with it.
Yeah, suck my hand, baby.
And there we
Right
go
there.
again.
She said, pretty good.
So
High cholesterol, huh?
She didn't look like she liked it.
yeah,
She's like,
maybe he had bad blood. Maybe there was bad blood.
Oh, like
involved.
Taylor Swift?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
Maybe he was a vegan. I don't know.
Maybe he was vegan. Maybe it wasn't good enough. So yeah, this is a direct sequel to Resident Evil 7. So in that game, you are Ethan Winters, and you are basically trying. The whole game is initially about trying to rescue your girlfriend / fiance / wife, whichever one it is, Mia, and you find out. Spoiler alert! You find out that she is getting somewhat possessed by the people inside of it.
Somewhat, okay.
Inside of that house, and you come to the realization that the people that are technically trying to kill you, it's not necessarily their fault. There is a bigger power that is controlling them. The game ends in one of two ways. Either one, you save Mia, or two, you save somebody else. Now, in
Choose
this
your own
game,
adventure.
what I think is happening is it is a sequel if you save Mia. And this is kind of what happens after that.
So if you played 7 and you saved someone else, you're not allowed to play.
Might as well
Exactly.
not play.
And it's funny
can't play.
because in the game, I didn't save Mia because I was mad that she
So you're
tried
not
to
allowed
kill
to
me.
play.
I'm not allowed to
That's
play.
why we have to talk about it.
And now this is over because I'm literally not playing this anymore, and there's nothing else for us to talk about.
Yep.
So
Done.
is this a game that you're like maybe hoping to try to speed run on your, or are you just gonna play through it
Speed walk.
and then speed walk it?
So I think with this game, what I'm going to do to start out with is I'm going to
It's an aggressive walk.
play it normally and take it for what it is. And I think after that, I'm going to go into the speedrun mode, and this is a game that I
I
want
thought he
to
was going to say
speedrun.
the camera
Nice.
mode.
I'm gonna go into the camera
I
mode.
like that, but what about the
try not to die?
multiplayer
So there's a mode in the game that's meant for speedrunning.
Yeah, I wonder if it's the
Like,
multiplayer
you know,
mode.
So when
Yeah,
you say
just,
speedrunning mode, that's just a
podcast
mentality.
is brought
Yes.
to you
You're
by
locking into that.
multiplayer mode.
Exactly.
Because I know the only reason why I bring that up is a lot of games now have like a stream thing built into it. Like you go into like a stream. I wasn't
Absolutely.
sure if they had like a speedrunning mode. So I thought it was a worthwhile question. So for viewers, there's not a mode in the game that makes you do like it doesn't change the game to go speedrun, but it's a mentality you put yourself in.
It's actually funny you say that because now thinking about it, there are in Resident Evil 7 as well. After you beat the game in like a certain way, say you beat the game in under an hour, whatever it was, I can't remember. I think it was 4 hours.
So difficult.
You unlock different things, and there's different modes of speedrunning that you can do. So that is actually a very good point. There's definitely different modes. Like for example, Resident Evil 2, the one that I speedrun, the frames are so different based on if you play 120 frames or 60 frames. There's two different categories there, and then there's like a knife only mode as well, just because the knife is so OP in that game.
It's not hard enough.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the thing. People are making like their own difficulties.
exactly.
Speedrunners will do that.
Exactly. So I'm super excited about this game.
That's great.
It comes out tomorrow. Well, it comes out Friday. So tomorrow for us. Today for you guys watching at the day of launch of this video. And I'm pumped, man. I'm
good.
pumped.
I think it's important that we share our sentiment because it is different. So obviously, Nick is really close to the community. He understands the Resident Evil. He came here prepared. I do love that. I love seeing this. It plays homage to when I was younger.
It's great too.
Similar story to you when I, when I was younger. It was really I didn't even watch scary movies. The first scary thing I really interacted with was this game.
And when that guy hit on your mom when you went to go rent it.
Oh man.
Your mom.
Oh,
Yeah. Damn it.
Yeah, I
I'm not impressed with that.
Guys, speaking of games that like
But hold on.
Oh, okay.
So, but let me finish my thought.
Yeah.
So the next thing that I wanted to share on that is that Nick is excited, and I do appreciate that. And I want to get your guys' feedback. I will not be buying this game. I think this is an awesome. I think it looks good. It's not my alley. I'm a family man. I have kids. I'm the oldest one here, so I think it's important that we share our different perspectives. I appreciate the game. I love the franchise of Resident Evil. I love where it's going. I think it looks great, but I am not as excited as Nick.
Yeah.
that happens.
I'm gonna stop you there. I'm gonna pick up here.
All right.
Yeah, do it.
I'm probably the same train there. I think it looks amazing. I've not ever played Resident Evil, so watching, I was like, oh, what the hell is this all about? The artwork looks great. I think the detail is amazing, as you will see in the official trailer.
Yep.
I think it's cool. I would play it. Probably won't buy it.
Okay.
But I think it's really cool.
So you'd play it.
I would play it.
All right. Let's do
give
it
it-
on. Let's do it on this. Will you buy it release? Will you wait for a big sale, or will you not? Will you just pass on it?
If I was to buy it, I'd probably do it on a sale.
Got it.
A good sale.
Yeah, I would hope that it would become available eventually, maybe on like Xbox Game Pass or something. It's a game that I'd be like, oh, sweet, that's on here. I'm gonna go get that because some people might think like, oh, well, you get this huge catalog of games, but I only download like 1% of 1% of them, right? Even though I'm
Sure.
paying
Absolutely.
$15 a month or whatever. So if I saw this game or even the previous 7 on there, I would definitely grab it. But yeah, it looks pretty awesome. I think jumping in at this point in the story might be weird. It sounds like 7 is where you would need to jump in if this one is going to make sense because Japanese based games, stories based, they are very story driven, and a big part of why people love them, not only because the game is cool or it looks good, but it's because of the story. So I think jumping in, it's like Metal Gear Solid, jumping into like Metal Gear at like 6, it's like, what's going? Why are there 6 of us? Like,
Kojima.
yeah, exactly. So there's a bunch of those. But more on Metal Gear in a second. I think we're moving on though.
Yeah, I think that's a great transition into kind of games that we just grew up with that we loved. And the reason why I want to touch on this is because I feel like this podcast will have an emphasis on gaming because all of us in our own different ways do appreciate video games for what they are. And I think it is important to kind of dive into the very beginnings of what was it that got us into video games and some of the games that we played growing up that left that impact on us that led us to where we are right now. So for me, I mean, it was Pokemon, as we could tell from last week for sure.
Oh, you like that?
Yeah, it's a pretty good game. It's a pretty good game.
Influential.
Which one?
franchise.
Yeah, like a
Specifically.
specific Pokemon game,
So-
like Red and Blue, or
So I was gifted by my uncle Pokemon Yellow when I was
Yes.
a kid.
Nice.
And it was at that stage where like I could read, but not very well.
Sure.
So there's definitely parts where like I would get lost, and I would like my cousin who was like 4 or 5 years older than me would like take it, and he would like get me super far, and then it turned out like I got to level 4 and I had like a level 70 Nidoqueen. I couldn't beat anything because I only had one good Pokemon. My Pikachu was trash. But that was the game that got me into it. And then having Nintendo 64, that being like my first actual console. We had a Sega Genesis growing up.
Love it.
But that was my dad's. And my dad just never really played video games, so it kind of got handed down to me. Versus the Nintendo 64 when I would be playing Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon Snap. I would literally go down, and it's funny because we just played that game on stream, the new one.
Yeah.
Or in the last episode, but Pokemon Snap growing up for me was like huge. I remember like there was no instruction or guides or whatever that I would have. I would like find out all these different things just by playing the game over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So those they had a huge impact on me, man. And
The
it
double
kind of
Pokemon?
Yeah, Pokemon, and then I would say my favorite like RPG that got me like, wow, this is the thing, was Fable, the original Fable on the
Fable's
Xbox.
lit.
Wow.
That
The
Fable's
original
good.
Fable on the Xbox. My mom wouldn't let me play for the longest time because it was rated M, and she's like, "You're 13
For
years
mature.
old." Yeah,
You're not M.
Yeah.
How was Fable M?
yeah.
Crazy.
Probably because there's violence and I guess suggestive things. I don't know, man.
very
That's a really good
cartoonish
point.
looking.
It was.
very
It was.
cartoonish
It
looking.
was literally like Robin Hood, a little bit more Robin Hood, and then she finally let me do it because my cousin like talked her into letting me play, and man, that game
Change your life.
It did. And then the Anniversary came out too, and they completely remastered it on the Xbox 360, man. Those were mine.
Love it.
Perfect.
That's good. Yeah, I can dive into the next one.
Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely. Please
so
do.
I appreciate that you talked about what got you into games, and you categorize yours there. I'm going to talk about the 3 games that probably I've spent the most time with.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Because and to me, that's probably going to give you the idea of what my top 3 would be as an adult. And I because I feel like a lot of games when I was younger, influenced me to kind of lean towards certain genres as I got older. But I'll start with number 3 on the list.
Yeah.
I think Ridge, you might see this one coming. Is a Destiny really impacted me? Big. It really, and I was conditioned as a when I was a younger child to play open world RPG games, to play shooting games. I played the Halos, and I know you went really deep into that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Maybe some of us, other ones of us did, along with. The RPGs, the shooters, and this was the first game that really capitalized on all of that all in one. And I was really big into EverQuest, which is very similar to WoW.
Okay.
So all of that rolled into Destiny. It broke my brain. And luckily it did. Before I had kids, and I ended up having kids, and I slowed down playing it. But I mean, I was up all night. We're talking Vault of Glass. Like the first month that came out, I was able to beat that. Crota's End, all these awesome games. Destiny 2. So the Destiny franchise was big. Really enjoyed that one. So that's third. We'll go second on the list.
Okay.
Second on the list, I'm going to go ahead and say that it is Smash Brothers, without a doubt. I still play. This is the game I play today. It's what brought us together, I would say. One of the bigger things
Certainly
that,
to one degree,
at least in the office, right? So a lot of my friends circled around the experience of Smash. It's a great game, and really new characters are still coming out. The game's expanding, and I really enjoy it. And I will play with Samus all the way down to Melee. I mean, I played Smash Brothers for over 20 years. I can honestly say that. I played it on 64.
So annoying playing against you. Only having played maybe 3 hours or 4 hours total.
And one thing I love about Sakurai, the guy who made the game, is that he kept the controls the same, right? So if you played it 15 years ago, you can play it today.
You made the controls to I'm still not good at it. So
I've broken a lot of Souls internet. So, but there are people that are way better than me. I could probably go to a tournament and maybe get to losers, top 64. So but anyways, we'll transition to the last one. The last one, this is a big one, and I'll try not to take up too much more time, but I'm very passionate about Zelda. It's just Zelda in general. So Link to the Past for Super NES was a huge game for me when I was young. Then as I got older, Ocarina of Time for Nintendo 64. Oh my gosh, great memories of playing with my uncle, and that game just blew my mind. And then through that game, I kind of took a pause. I went through puberty. Girls became way more involved with kind of my decision
What are
making.
girls?
And then
You went from liking Zelda to liking Zelda.
Yes. And then
Nice.
And then once I had kids, Nintendo, they decided to drop this amazing console called Switch, and they bring in Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild, by far to me, and I know this is extremely debatable, is the number one. And of all the Zelda games, my daughter loves it, my son loves it, 2's coming out. So that franchise has this household gripped, and I'm trying to, I guess, grow children that like games that I like. And they see my enthusiasm with it. It gives a sense of adventure. You can really get lost in this game. And I really can't speak any more highly of Breath of the Wild. Like, oh my gosh, this is the banger. This is number one. So Zelda franchise, number one. Number one in that is this game, Breath of the Wild. And
So
I'm
your-
hoping 2 beats it.
So your favorite game of all time, Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Zelda Breath of the Wild. Yes.
I appreciate
100%.
you
So
sharing that with
Destiny,
us.
then we're going to go Smash, and then Breath of the Wild, number one game. Yes.
Cool.
There you go.
Cool. Yeah, I appreciate you actually like putting them in order. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do kind of, I think Nick did this, and you might have done a little bit too.
Yeah.
Like kind of just like as I've grown up. So my number one game growing up was actually Pokemon Silver or Gold, whichever one, doesn't matter. They're the same.
Is this handheld?
Yeah, on the Game Boy.
Yep.
So
Game, what color, baby?
I really like that just because, like, obviously I love both the first and second gen.
Yeah.
I like that you could do Johto and then go to Kanto and clean up there. And, it was just, there was a lot of new features added in it. I like the bike that you could just set as a shortcut. You don't have to go in and press fucking bike every time. You're just
Down the
like
big
biking
long
shit.
list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And you could make friends, get their phone numbers, come battle them, whatever, dude. It was a good time. That made me feel like I had a phone back then. I didn't.
Bike was the meta.
'cause I
I
was a
remember
child.
multiple people talking about that
Oh,
bike.
the bike was great, man. Just on the bike trail, doing your bike stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
66.
yeah.
I don't know.
Probably 69. So yeah, that was a real big fan of that game. That was one of my good ones. Probably in my teenager years, I'm sure Ridge is here with me. Halo 2 and 3. I played a lot with my boys. I wasn't very good at it, so I didn't like playing. One of my friends was just amazing, just destroyed people. So
Not that good.
No, I don't know. He played real weird. He played inverted look. That was weird. It's creepy.
The controller upside down?
No, we can
Okay.
anyway.
I know.
So I bought Halo 2 and just practiced playing on my own, and I got really good. And then Halo 3, I was like okay at, but we just kept playing. It was just a lot of good times around that game.
Yeah.
I wasn't like really that amazing, but it was pretty good. And then probably my most recent game, Fortnite, just because I put so much time into it. I mean, it's been out. I've been playing it for 3 years now, I think. So I'm still.
He's
enjoying-
very good, by the way.
I'm fairly.
you?
I'm okay.
For controller, he's the bomb.
Yeah, I have like 600 wins, but that's not a lot compared to people that
That's
play.
a lot.
Flex.
Big deal.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys,
Guys, I only have
if you guys
a
want to
million
run
wins
them.
on Fortnite. I'm
I
not
can see
that
the
good.
comments now. 600.
I remember when I got my 600th
Yeah, I got 600 wins
He's like,
last
"What's
week.
party up, bro?" In 1v1.
Oh yeah, they're gonna want,
God, you're gonna get so many requests.
Yeah, no, it's fun though. I like the building aspect of it. I know that's like the thing people hate. I think it's fun. I like to rip
You
90s.
love it or hate it, right?
Yeah, I mean,
if you love it,
well,
you're
if
in
I
it.
go play a different game, I'm like, oh, that guy's shooting at me, and I'm just like trying to build, and I'm dead. So yeah, Fortnite's just real big on it. Still, I play like once a week. Still,
Fortnite gripped me.
oh,
I think it gripped all of us.
Yeah. Oh sure.
I mean, it
Yeah.
made me jump how much it gripped me.
Oh. Okay.
No,
I
but yeah.
got to 26 wins before I quit.
Oh.
Solo.
Settle down.
I never
Nice.
won once.
I don't know how many. I'm somewhere in the realm of 300 or so wins. But
Yeah.
yeah, Fortnite is. I mean, Scott and I have talked about this before, but Fortnite is arguably one of the best games of all time. Like if you start to just look at stats,
I never thought of this.
I equated it to like the Tom Brady argument. A lot of people would be like, I hate Tom Brady, but it's like hard to argue with his stats and his numbers. And Fortnite is that same way. I hate that game at this point. I played it a lot. I don't like it.
Wrong.
I don't like it. But it is hard to debate objectively that it isn't one of the best games of all time. Arguably one of the best in terms of the number of people playing it, the amount of money people have spent on it, the type of upgrades they've done, and then like the connection with like all this other
Mobile
IP.
to PC, one of the first to do that.
Oh, and, I mean, and you can
Everything.
you can be Master Chief, you can be Captain America, you can. It's crazy.
And let's not forget
Travis
the fact.
Scott. Go ahead. Sorry.
Let's not forget the fact that it was free, which they did absolutely perfectly.
Oh,
so
yeah, that's
any
for pioneers,
broke
dude.
college kid that had an Xbox, just about
Preach.
anybody
Yeah.
could
So-
play that game.
I mean, I think Apple is probably the OG to say like free to play, pay to win, or free to play, pay to enjoy it.
The
more.
cosmetics or
Exactly.
whatever.
So
Yeah.
I think the free to play
The Candy Crush model came from mobiles.
was
Yeah,
great, and they probably did that first, and then Fortnite
broke the council world, dude.
is the best version of that. I think probably historically.
If you like, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, you're good.
No, I mean Modern Warfare, whatever this new Modern Warfare thing is, as good as it is now, and this my family plays it like crazy. They're mimicking Fortnite. It's this battle royale mode they're all super addicted to, and isn't it free now too?
Oh,
It might be.
Warzone.
Warzone. Yeah, Warzone.
That's what they're playing.
They did it right.
No?
Literally,
No, I didn't buy it.
Interesting.
So you have one more on your list. That's why I was trying
No,
to
that
get
was
the
it.
mic
That was
back.
three.
You good? Okay.
Yeah,
that's-
Fortnite was his.
Cool. Yeah, I can jump into mine. There's
you.
a couple of games
God
on
bless.
here that everyone has certainly heard of.
Okay.
But another game that I'm sure none of you have probably played, but I had to put it on here, sort of like because of Hawes, the time. So I'm going to kind of go 3-1 as well. So my third probably favorite game of all time is called Command and Conquer Renegade.
I love those.
So Command and Conquer
I love those games.
is an RTS, typically an RTS game, but Command and Conquer Renegade was that world put into a first-person shooter. Command and Conquer Renegade, it came out in 2001. I played the crap out of this game, and I was good. I was very good. I mean, I probably started playing in 2002, so I was 12. And eventually, I ended up #1 in the world for a short time.
That's crazy. This is like the more clicks you make, the better you are, right?
No. So an RTS game, totally that. But this is a first-person version in the world of
here
the
it is.
RTS game.
Whoa.
Yeah. So it's obviously old and it's dated. They
like
did
Doom.
A
It
little.
looks
bit.
a little like Doom.
So they did make a remake of this game called Renegade X. It was like the 10-year anniversary. You can play it. It's just not the same. But the one thing that I love about this game was the balance. So if I had a rocket launcher and you had a pistol, if you were better than me, you could beat me very reasonably.
Sure.
So the balance was pretty good. You could literally hit someone like in the neck in the game, like on their hitbox with a rocket, and it wouldn't kill them. You'd have to hit them in the head with it. So it was just a very balanced.
That
in
is
my opinion,
balanced,
game.
yeah.
And
was-
don't get me wrong, like there's still splash damage. Go ahead.
Was this a game where like you would play online against
Oh yeah,
people?
absolutely. And that is
Yeah.
like what I played.
So it was PC back in the day, then clearly.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Looks fun.
I love
like mobile
this
games
game.
today.
Obviously it's old.
crazy.
Back in the day, it's
It
Absolutely.
looks better
love
than
this game.
64, though. I mean,
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, I love this game. I love the balance of the weapons.
of death.
There was all of those RTS aspects, but some of it was automated, and then
First and third person?
and then your team would have to kind of do some of the other things. Love that game. So that's probably my third favorite game.
Can
of
I
all time.
interrupt real quick?
Say what?
Can you define what RTS is for people that might not know?
Real-time strategy.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Basically, the above view, you have a base, you have to build it and manage your resources, and
Love
then you
it.
fight like another team. So
Cool.
But it was that scaled down to that first person. You controlled either one character and one vehicle, whatever. It's really really fun. I love that game.
Sure.
And
Absolutely.
then my second, I was trying to figure out. It's Halo for sure.
Okay.
Probably Halo 2/3. Right.
Okay.
Obviously, Scott brought that up. I played the crap out of these games. I probably have
Pull this clip up.
20,000 hours.
Wait, yeah. I mean,
You can pull up a clip of mine if you like.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, just search for KN4RR. And then I've got a couple of things from like Halo 4. Yeah, that top one. Yeah, sure.
it's got some views on it, too.
go.
It's a
not bad.
montage.
Yeah. So this video I
Montage.
made a while ago. Yeah, this is fun. But anyway, so
Scrub.
some rich gameplay.
yeah, this is technically none of the games that I just mentioned, but it's another Halo. Anyway, so 2 and 3, I have actually a similar story to Scott. We would play LAN with Halo 2 for a long time, and I was the worst out of like all of my friends and my brothers and stuff, and I did not like that.
Lit a fire.
It did. It literally made me into like the first person gamer that I am now, which is, in all fairness, far better than the average in almost every
Yes.
I
shooter.
miss this game. So
Flex.
good.
And so I did what Scott did. I would go to all the maps. I would find all the spots. I would memorize the spawn points. I'd kill myself in the game and see where I came back. And then I'd kill myself again. I'd see where I come back. So I could
I didn't do
really
that.
figure.
So you took the notes. You didn't like look where to find the notes. You took the notes.
I refined it and
He went to the
and learned
lab.
as much as I could. Learned all the BXR, double shots, triple shots, quad shots. I learned all that stuff. And it literally would go from a point where I couldn't do anything to it would be everyone against me and I'd still win. So that I love that. And then Halo 3, I mean, I just played, God, I don't know,
A lot of memories.
Man, 10,000 games, something
Holy
like that. I
my
played so
gosh.
much. So those two, and then my favorite game of all time is Metal Gear Solid.
Ah.
And the reason it's Metal Gear Solid is because that was like when I realized how awesome video games were.
Now, that's a first person, not a first person. I'm
a
sorry.
third
That's a
person.
single person campaign experience.
Single person campaign experience on the PlayStation.
Cherish these, by the way.
2-disc game. You got halfway through, and it just it showed me what video games could be. You know,
This was your, in my opinion, like Zelda experience.
oh yeah, definitely, yeah. And I honestly didn't play a ton beyond this, but there was like this hidden thing, and like there's a point where you fight a character called Psycho Mantis, and to beat him, because he can read your mind, you have to take the controller and plug it into the second player.
That's
No
to fight him, because he
way.
could read your mind. So if you did that, he couldn't read your mind anymore. You could beat him.
That's some Kojima
Just
stuff right
stuff,
there.
yeah, stuff like that. I was like, this is mind blowing. I didn't know games could be like this. I mean, so this was like
They
this-
still don't even do that anymore.
no.
there have been other games that have introduced other tactics like that
Yeah.
before.
But for me, it was just like, not only was it a ton of game, like there's so much to do. It was difficult. It was like a story, but also confusing and a bit of a puzzle.
and it surprised you.
and
But it surprised
yeah,
you.
I did. This game turned me into a gamer. So that's.
Now, was this before Halo, time-wise?
This was
Okay,
PlayStation
got it.
1.
This is before both of those games.
This is
all the games that I
PS1.
mentioned.
It's like 90s, right?
Now,
Yeah.
So I have a little bit of a story regarding this game. Okay, it came out when I was way too young to understand things, and it was also
me too.
Yeah, and it was it was also a game where I would get scared easily, and so watching my friend who was older than me play this game, I remember there's this one specific boss where it was like outside and it was like frosty tundra and there's wolves and stuff, and there's some like. Died every single
the
time.
Sniper?
Yes.
It's the second time you fight who you were just watching. Her name's Sniper Wolf. I've played
Sniper Wall, exactly.
I've beaten this game like 40 times.
Scared the crap out of me, dude.
Love it.
It still would bring shivers, like even thinking about it now. I just remember like going back to when I was that kid, like
Yeah.
being so freaked out about this game.
I bought a used PS2 Slim and I own one game. That's the game.
So is this the one where you have to like get in a box and
Yeah, you get into a box, and
and you
that
just
was,
like
which is
so
that was
which
so
is the
funny.
taunt animation
So
in
funny.
Smash. He gets in the box.
yeah.
And the animation actually has a hitbox on it. You can kill somebody with the taunt. It's one of the very few taunts in the game.
I did not know that.
It's so funny.
Love
I mean, and like this like save thing where you called Mei Ling to save your game, and like he like was smoking cigarettes in the beginning, and they're like, how did you get cigarettes? He's like, I smuggled them in my stomach, and I just like it was like this adult like experience, but like in a game. And
You're like, I know what that means.
yeah, well, exactly. Like, so you could just smoke cigarettes. in the
Keistered
game.
'em.
You know what it did? It killed you. It hurt. You. That's all it did.
It's like that's bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Great to teach a child.
But
I like it.
Yeah, I love it. The only bad part about this game is the POV. The POV is kind of garbage.
Sure. Well, you get it's an innovative game, right?
Yeah.
They're pushing the boundaries, and people could still beat it. But how many people threw the disc through the window because they didn't know that controller?
Well, 3 discs, right?
No, 2 discs. It's
Two di- oh, 2
it's
discs? Okay.
Yeah. And then like it's like, oh, you made it this far. You got to put the other disc.
I mean, you would need to have the book. There was no internet like that back
yeah.
then.
I mean, I beat Psycho Mantis. And it probably took me days to do it, and then now I know that that's the case, and you can beat them pretty.
Does it
easily.
Easter egg you and lead you towards that decision to like change the controller? It's like,
Yes, it does. I'm trying to remember exactly. I think what
when the
happens-
wires aren't crossed, I
think-
can read your
Well,
mind
did
or
you see
something.
on that codex where he was like calling and saving his game?
Sure.
There's a whole bunch of different people you can call, and if you like call the right person, they'll kind of give you a hint.
Oh,
Really?
There we go.
I want to
Big
play.
brains.
Is this a game, even though it's dated, is this a game where like I could play this right now and still have a fun time?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you could borrow it if you like. I got it. It's incredible. I have to turn my PS2 Slim upside down to make it play games.
That's fun because it was a disc mobile platform, wasn't it?
Well, the PS2 Slim is just like
It's like-
the original PS2 is like
Oh,
this, and the PS2
okay.
Slim is like,
Like this.
Yep.
You're making hand gestures for some reason. I thought you were holding this thing like a hand
I mean, I
council.
could.
My
I could
fault.
probably put it on top of my. So, but yeah, I have to
Those
flip-
were tiny, dude.
I have to flip it over. It's hilarious. But I just bought it for like $30, and then I bought the game for like at like a used disc store that had like a bunch of Metal Gear. It's like it's $35 for like 6 games. I'm like,
All
okay,
right.
I just want that one. So thank you. I'll take all of them. And then I just gave the other ones away.
I love the diversity at this table. None of our games crossed. All our games were our.
Halo.
I'm sorry.
crossed.
Halo did.
One of the biggest games of all time.
And
Yeah.
my game has potential to have a character from one of y'all's. Smash.
That's right.
I love that.
Oh.
Smash was like, hey, you
Smash
know
was a
what?
good time.
Who do we want? Let's just put him in there.
Yeah.
We got you know what,
Snake.
Steve. You know, put him in there.
We got Snake in there
Banjo
too.
and Kazooie, just put him in there.
I really think Master Chief has an
I think he's got a
opportunity.
chance.
Well, he's in Fortnite, right? So I mean, there's a little bit of a cross there.
Yeah. And I'd like to see
Available in
Fortnite come in too, because if they were able to play homage to
Jonesy.
Steve in
Minecraft. Yeah.
there's a potential. I mean, it's the biggest game within the recent years. I mean, it makes sense.
Oh, by far. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
it really
probably
is.
far and away the biggest game
Yeah, it definitely
in recent
is.
years. Cool.
Well, that was fun. I really did enjoy learning more about you all and
Yeah.
and
Man,
your
I agree.
relationship with the games as you've grown. I think that's awesome.
It's like a walk down memory game.
Game memory lane.
Memory lane game.
That was a decent one, Rich. I'll give you that.
Yeah, it
Wasn't great, but it wasn't bad.
It was like, yeah, it wasn't very punny at all.
All right, you're done.
Cool.
We're gonna cut him off. Go ahead and
Oh, no, you're totally fine. Yeah, so I think what we're going to do next is we're going to go into some PSA talk. We're getting pretty close. I have some cards I want to show too and kind of show how PSA does things.
Okay.
So PSA right now, I'm not sure if our viewers know, they're currently just in gridlock. They're shutting down new cards being sent in. So essentially, if you're
Insane.
yes, yeah, exactly. So if you're doing Magic the Gathering, or you're into sports cards, you're into memorabilia, you're into signed autographed items, the best way to preserve, lock in, and raise that value is to send it into a company called PSA.
Right.
PSA as of late, all their services are up outside of their card services, and I'll tell you why. I think the reason being is because of Logan Paul, which we've talked about, I think, in our last podcast, or maybe before we talked about it.
Sure.
Logan Paul is busting boxes right now for first gen base set Pokemon cards. He's busting boxes.
busting
That's
them,
right. I
man.
said it.
Wait, well,
He's busting
Well, that too.
what do you mean busting boxes?
you know.
So he's opened up like huge, like $100,000-$200,000 Pokemon boxes.
Exactly. So there's the first print ever for Pokemon English. It's called First Edition Base Set.
Yeah, that's right.
And if you get the first run, you get that first edition stamp on it. So Logan Paul went out found a collector. He bought a box. I think he bought it for like let's say $100K. You can Google it, viewers, please. And a large amount of money. Well, he does a live stream on YouTube. Really puts rocket fuel. This is a phrase I use a lot. You're gonna hear it more. Into the business of the card game.
Yeah.
And everyone got interested even more than usual, right? You see a reinsurgence of this energy on Reddit, online, just in general. People buying cards, getting more enthusiastic about it. So this Logan Paul effect, we'll call it. Okay. Some people will argue that, but PSA got involved in the next event for Logan Paul. So much so that I think one of the owners were there with Logan when he busted his second opening on the 25th anniversary for Pokemon. So this was just a few months ago this year.
Wow. I didn't know that it was like that official.
PSA was there.
Yeah.
So he would open it. If he pulled a Charizard, which he did, watch the video. It's actually highly entertaining, and free content's great.
It is.
Pulls it. He hands it to PSA. It's the fastest delivered to PSA. Just right across the table. Boom. He looks at it. He goes, yeah, that's a 10. And like everyone starts freaking out.
Everybody freaks
immediately.
out.
$500,000 card. And they have a partnership with Logan now to where it doesn't say first edition base set Charizard Gym Mint 10, right? It says Logan Paul break first edition base set Charizard. So
it's even more exclusive.
which is even more exclusive. We don't know yet. Well, maybe we do on whether long term it'll hurt it or help it, the value.
Yeah. Oh,
I think it'll help it.
Honestly, if you didn't want that, you could always just send it back in, have it re-slapped.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they'd break it open and you could readjust that value. But here's the kicker.
nice.
And for
He
what
bought- yeah, please.
I just want to show what Haas is talking about right now.
Yeah.
He's mentioning this part, right? It actually says
That's the name. Yeah.
Yeah, it actually says like Paul.
So that's
Logan
locked
Paul.
in time, and then when you send it in digitally, well, when you fill it out, you say this is the card. You take your physical card, you send it in, and they go, this does match. That has to match 100% of the time. They've never deviated away from that to stay consistent. You have to do that for value purposes. But yeah, Logan, if he were to open a card, he now gets his own name, right? This Logan Paul pull. But I think they're reserving it for these very, very, very expensive cards. Anyways, huge insurgents into the business. They have like millions of cards in backlog. They have people manually checking these cards and doing this. So it's literally it's someone's fingers touching it, looking at it, signing it off, reviewing it, and grading it. Very, very slow process. So I made a prediction with Scott. We were sitting down, opening packs before we started doing this podcast. I said, I think PSA, they shut down because they're recalibrating. They're going to bring tech in and they're going to fix this.
Right.
And they're going to, because there's so much more money to make. You want this attention, to make more money. But the problem is that it's gridlock internally because it's an ancient system. So if they were to find a way through technology to use cameras, high-speed cameras, these types of things, send the card in, and then a system just knows what quality is, breaks it out, and gives you the grade, and then you can mail it to the consumer. So that was a guess that I made.
Okay.
I shit you not. Like 2 or 3 days ago, PSA, they acquired a company called Geniment to introduce next-gen technology in grading processing.
Perfect.
So I just had a stream of consciousness. I thought of that. I was like, they'd be crazy not to do this.
Big brain.
And they did it.
So what you're saying is instead of it being hand done now for everything, they're going to incorporate some type of like technology or device that's going to be able
Put it
to
in a scanner. Probably it'll probably detect the imperfections. It'll probably be.
I have a quote.
It'll probably be both more consistent, but harsher. Is my guess.
I agree 100%.
Harsher might not be a word.
So I guess we don't know the
More
full,
harsh.
the more harsh. I'm not sure what the benefits are, but this is the quote from the company.
Okay.
And I want to use this to guess or predict next. But it says we are eliminating humans from the grading. We are not eliminating humans from the grading process. He continues, we're improving the process by adding technology.
I love that.
Yeah, that's great. Well, because I don't want people to lose their jobs either.
Yeah.
Big pro job guy.
So what it sounds like to me is that we are not hiring a bunch of more employees to fix this issue. We're going to keep our current staffing, and then to increase output, we're going to surround them with technologies.
Streamline
That's
it
what
for
it sounds
sure.
like to me.
And that's good because, I mean, with PSA basically shutting down for the past few months, people were like looking for different outlets in order to
Going to Beckett.
Yeah, going to a new thing, which is CGC. Exactly, CGC being this system that I love, which is they do subgrades as well, and those
Subgrades are the next evolution.
Yep, and subgrades are being used in order to come out with that overall score. So it's kind of like, you know, back in school, you got a 4.0, you got a 3.0, you got a 3.0, well, you got like a 3.3 or whatever.
This
Something
new
like
technology has to incorporate these ideas. And a lot of, like, I know a guy that I want to bring on the show is my friend Bradley, and he told me that he thinks that PSA is hurting themselves by shutting down. They should be pushing through it, and that it's going to lower value. I conjectured, and I gave them my hypothesis that it will raise the value of PSA. And I've looked online. If you can get if there are a very few amount of folks that were able to send in a Charizard VMAX shiny from Shining Fates before they shut down. And those PSA graded ones, there's only a handful out there. They're going for a lot more than usual. Yeah. But it's because of PSA being shut down. So I think them shutting down, it just kind of increases demand.
Yeah.
It increases demand.
Yeah, basically supply and demand.
So I can see two things happening. We could say that. However, now that PSA is opening up again, I think that value is going to decrease a
They're
little,
not
as it
open
should.
back up. They're not open back
Wait,
up.
they're not opening back up at all.
They're not open back up now.
They're not open yet.
But
Yeah,
they will
we don't
eventually.
Even, we
right?
don't even know a date. Yes,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
absolutely.
So I feel like it's going to decrease a little bit. The thing that I love is like it just gave opportunity for all these different car companies in order to get the business. So now PSA is going to need to.
PSA's king.
We say that, but
I don't know.
I also remember, I specifically do remember different people that get their cars graded regularly saying PSA kind of does grade a little bit easier than all these other places.
Yes, they
I've
do.
heard that as well.
So we'll find out.
The community knows that, though.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
And they've accepted it.
Exactly.
And they enjoy it.
So, you know, a Beckett 10 is probably worth more than a PSA
Oh, yeah,
10.
100%.
And then there's the Black Label 10.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Which is worth
further.
I mean, it's
So,
the
I mean,
best.
people-
That's the
best.
gold standard.
The people that are buying these you know, PSA 10s or these Beckett
They
10s,
know.
they know,
Yeah.
exactly. The money that they're spending on these cards, they didn't just go, oh, PSA 10, okay, fine. I mean, they're going to know the difference and realize that the card is in better condition.
If they can come out with a Black Label equivalent in grade, I think PSA, it's theirs to mess up. I think it's theirs to win.
Yeah.
It's up to them, right? Their next move, I think, is going to dictate the best option.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
PSA is definitely I feel it's the most well known out of all the card grading. So
Time
if
in the market,
PSA,
right? Yeah.
The oldest, yeah.
if PSA finds a way to do that, like maybe grade a little bit harder, I feel like it's going to help them so much more. People are going to love PSA even more. They're going to know, like, hey, I got a PSA 10. Like, not only is it the most popular, but now it means something too when I get that 10.
Sure, yeah.
We're able to show off these bad boys before?
Yeah, we could do that.
Yep. So I'm going to show. Actually, Scott, go ahead and give me your thought. I'm sorry about
No,
that. I didn't mean to cut
absolutely.
you off.
No,
sir.
no.
There's a 9 and there's a 10.
Okay.
Show the difference there.
No, the only other thing I was going to add is if they do like a PSA like Black Label 10 or whatever thing.
That'd be awesome.
The only thing is I'm going to predict with that would be like it devaluing current PSA 10s.
So where did this come from? Oh, it says right there. So this was Champion's Path, and this is a 9 right here.
Yep, that's a 9. And I believe, here's the thing. This is going to play to the tune what Scott was bringing up. I have no idea why it's a 9. Like, I think I know. There's a little
because there's no
whitening on the back.
subgrades,
They don't
right.
give you, I wish you just got a little, whatever this technology is. It
Shit's
goes,
weak.
Yeah, there's whitening in the upper right-hand corner.
Sure.
Or
The
we
centering
see,
looks good.
Yeah, I mean Beckett gives you that.
Yes, they do.
So like
They
I mean
do.
they'll literally
So does
on, like a
CGC.
square card.
But
with,
they
like, a,
have
like,
time to put that TLC into the grading
right,
process.
because it's sort of the number 2.
And
Exactly,
The,
yeah.
the one thing I want to add in about CGC is a lot of people are turning to CGC because they will validate error cards, whereas like PSA and Beckett, PSA does some, but
This is
CGC
a
will
10.
consistently do. And
The
they'll
centering on that one's pretty good.
Can you define what an error card is?
okay, yeah. So like in early, I mean any print run, but like there was a lot of well-known errors in like the original set. So like there's
Yes.
for example, there's the base set War Turtle. It's called the Evolution Box error, where it says like stage 1 it should be a Squirtle,
Right.
but it'll be War Turtle again. There's a picture of a War Turtle on the War Turtle.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
But CGC and I believe PSA actually does that one because it's a well-known one.
Red Cheeks
But
Pikachu as well.
Yeah, it'll say like 9 error, and on the back, if you flip over the slab for CGC, it'll tell you exactly what.
That's
the error is.
awesome.
I mean, and that's
This
something
one
in
still needs to
any
get
world
graded.
of collecting. Coins is something that I started looking into recently. Errors are always popular, and it's because of the limited number of them.
Yep.
So
If there's a consistent error that was replicable,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
People
Well, that's
love that.
specifically look for
One-off
that.
errors don't do nothing. It seems
Like the jungle
Okay.
error,
They-
Pokemon card
they
jungle
might.
set.
One-off errors might, but yeah, it's something that like you have to convince somebody that makes it
Maybe for
unique.
like a
Yes.
big time collector or something.
Yeah, yeah. So like I said, I've been looking at coins and stuff, and there's certainly like some through line. Like people know, like, oh, this is something specifically you look for. This is you want this. This is worth more for this. But they're all are definitely like just really screwed up from the printer, from the mint and the coin world at least. That are super, super unique, and it's not just like generally known, and those are still worth quite a bit of money. So errors are cool. Discovering them is
Hard.
Yeah, it's difficult to do because you may not even know that it is an error because it might be so subtle, and that's how it got through in the
And
printing
this technology would be great. You send in a card that you don't know is an error,
bro,
and
these-
they're like, "Oh, actually,
these-
this was an error card."
these
You're like,
cheap-
Actually, I'm pretty sure in submitting, they won't classify an error unless you say this is an error.
yes, PSA for sure.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
But
it's-
they'll tell you if your card's not what you said it was going to be.
Correct.
They will do
Yes.
that.
That's funny. Cool. Yeah. Lots of really good stuff in the PSA news. I didn't know about that. I didn't know about the technology. And I've got a few cards that I would like to maybe send. So it sounds like maybe they could speed that process up, get through that backlog, and I'd be able to send a card
Yeah.
in.
And one other thing that I think that'll be great before we pivot here is
Yeah.
that if they do change it and they just change it a little bit, right? It looks a little different.
Sure.
Right.
You can get a higher potential grade, bro. People are going to send their 10s in to get regraded.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
100%.
It's going to make so much money.
incorporate that black label. People are gonna be like, I want the black label PSA.
Yeah. Oh,
And make their and you want to advertise it like, oh, ours is even harder to get.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I'd be interested.
Like
Because this
I was
technology's
saying,
so on point. Yeah, be awesome.
100%.
You nailed it, Nick.
So we were talking earlier about like games that we like grew up loving. There's one game that just I think a lot of people love to play that just got an update maybe, and I was hoping one of our pro gamers on this ridge would be able to
Pro gamer.
talk a little bit more about this.
Yeah, we're talking about Apex Legends Season 9, the Legacy launch. So the one amazing thing about Apex, and you kind of see it here in the trailer, is they put a ton of time into like these reveals and the storylines for all the individual characters, because it's a battle royale game, very character driven, both in ability and in their individual stories and personalities. Okay. So yeah, what you're seeing here is the real reveal for Season 9. The Legacy, that concept is the idea in the game. When you play a regular VR game of Apex Legends, you're in the games, and that's the sort of the story behind it. You're competing against each other. This is the idea of Legacy is that they're taking it back to what it originally was, which was like an arena-based 3v3.
Okay.
So they're going back to Season 1.
Well, no, so they're saying like in the story of Apex Legends, this is where the games came from. So this is a completely brand new permanent mode called Arena.
So they're playing to the lore of the game.
Exactly.
I
And
love
they
this.
do it a
I love
ton.
this.
It's incredible. Even if you don't like this game, even if you don't play it, you should just go on YouTube and just type in like Apex Legends. You don't have to do it now.
Look at this dude with the microphone.
Oh yeah, the characters are great. This Mirage, and he's a goober. He really is. You gotta watch the stuff. This really is. There's an official pork chop recipe for that character in the game.
Like in-game pork chop or?
Yeah. There's one you could do. So anyway, so yeah, they're going back to in the lore, the origins of the games. 3v3, do you?
Yep.
3v3, and it's based on a lot of games that do this. You know, you've got sort of a buy section. You go in, you can buy your loadout based off of the credits they give you, and
The economy's really good in the game, I feel like. Is it nice and balanced when you're playing?
Yeah. So I mean, the thing that makes this unique to other BRs is it's sort of like Overwatch in that it's very
feeling the Overwatch
character-based.
vibes.
So each character not only has a unique personality, and the robot's funny, and Caustic, the gas guy, is like he's like real morbid and stuff. But they all have their own unique abilities.
You know how hard that is to get into a game? Like character development, personalities.
Right.
It's not
Especially a
easy.
game that's a BR like this, where you just go in, you shoot each other, and then it's over, right?
And now BR means Battle Royale,
Battle
right?
Royale, yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I had to put that together
Fortnite,
for our viewers.
Warzone, PUBG, all of these
Battle
games.
Royale,
It's
gotcha.
the big thing. So, but anyway, so yeah, that's the big new reveal for this particular launch, Season 9, is that we're doing Arena. I've played it a few times. It's a ton of fun. The people that like the game, we've been talking about it for a while. We needed something new in the game. I love Apex. I want to play it, but sometimes I just get sick of the regular BR. And I've said it multiple times. I wish we just had something new to do, and they've done it. They've given it to us. It's this. It's been out for a few days. They did a really great job. It's great. But there are some other things that I want to talk about that are new to the reveal as well.
Yeah,
so,
Sure.
Beyond that, beyond arenas, we've got a new character, a new legend. So they reveal a new legend typically with each new release. And this one we have Valkyrie. You saw her there in the beginning of the trailer, and obviously has their own lore and a lot of the Apex.
Feels good to be back.
Apex is made by Respawn. Respawn made Titanfall, so there's a ton of Titanfall weapons, a ton of Titanfall
Oh,
things.
I've been wanting to stream Titanfall. That's why I like. That's why I like this game. Yeah, this is
So
Titanfall developers. Man.
I love Titanfall.
It's basically the Titanfall BR without Titans. I
Yes.
think eventually
Okay.
The
they'll
core
get-
of it, right?
Yeah. Eventually they'll get us there, but the same weapons, the Spitfire, the stuff that you're used to from Titanfall, it's all in the game. Spitfire is OP, by the way.
Yep.
But
It
anyway,
was in Titanfall too, man.
So the lore here for Valkyrie is that her father was controlled a Titan, and with one of the other.
So they reference Titans.
They
in the lore?
reference Titanfall, and I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So if you go back to the very beginning, you should see Valkyrie. But
If they added Titans to this game, I'd have to get it.
Dude,
she took the broken down Titan that her father used to control, and she made like a jetpack out of it. That's the character. So the
This
abilities.
one?
That's Valkyrie, the new character.
I
So
love that style. Look at this.
so they got so there's three different sort of abilities that each character has. So Valkyrie, the passive ability is called VTOL jets. Basically, it's just a jetpack. It allows you to get up to strategic points. It allows you to maybe sort of make yourself almost like a sniper tower mid-fight, and you can kind of get a better angle.
Okay, and this is DLC specific.
So
Or Season 9, sorry.
Season 9 specific, so this game is 100% free to play.
That's what I thought.
All the
so
new
hype.
DLC, everything is completely free.
Have
The
you
only-
streamed this, Nick?
My friends do. I stayed away from this game.
It's great. I love to play with you. I play all the time.
Dude,
I'm
I'm
a monster.
convinced.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
convinced to
I'm a
play.
He's pretty good.
Anyway,
I would love to.
Couldn't carry my trash ass though.
Anyway,
It is very Borderlands. It's like Borderlands and Titanfall. It really is.
there's a lot of stuff going
It's,
on
it,
here.
it seems like they're slightly going towards cell shading over time. Like it's a little more
It
cell
does
shaded.
kind of, yeah.
They're picking it up because it wasn't like that. I don't remember
Well,
at
this
the
is
beginning.
Just, so
Of
this
course,
isn't
this is a
gameplay.
this is a
This
theatrical.
animated.
This is an animated
Sure,
video.
sure.
That's my favorite character, Caustic. But anyway,
The one with the microphone.
no, the one with the gas mask.
Got
on.
it. Oh,
He's
yeah,
the
yeah,
fart
gotcha.
man. He throws down farts. That's his ability.
I'm a fart
Anyways,
man.
He's the fart man.
He really is. There he is. Look at the fart man. He
I
does
love
good.
it.
So, and then she has a tactical, which is pretty cool. It's called Missile Swarm. Why you can shoot like a barrage of little missiles. It disorientates and also hurts the enemies, which is really cool.
Good
And then-
utility, yeah.
And then the other part, or her ultimate, her ultimate ability is basically a jump tower. So when you fly into a game, you fly in from a ship or whatever, and then there's also jump towers in the game. strategically placed and you can hit them. She can just do it on her own with her ult, and she could take her team.
That's
really,
pretty cool.
really pretty
Wow.
Sounds
cool.
a little OP.
Just get So
It's not as OP as you think,
Yeah.
but it's like if
high
you
ground is key though, right? If you use it right.
Absolutely. I mean, I was
And
going to say,
escaping.
you know, in this game there are three.
Fortnite high ground's where it's
Three
at.
things
Still,
in this
right?
game
I'm
are
just saying.
key to winning. So obviously the first thing is a very team-based game. So using your abilities together and team shooting, number one most important thing. The second thing I would say is probably like position and or high ground. So yeah, Valkyrie could be used really well for that. I haven't found yet that
It's an arrow.
it's too OP, but
That is an arrow. Compound bow.
yeah. So I love that you mentioned that because
72
that's
pound,
the other new
tension
thing.
string.
New weapon.
Let's go.
Oh, the arrow's new.
Yeah, it's called the bow check. So they added a
Bow
bow for
check.
the first time. It's pretty awesome. They also obviously before that they added arrows.
Is that a
as
bad
new-
guy?
as
Is that a
new
bad
weapon.
guy?
So
Sounds
that's
like-
Ash. Ash
Okay.
is
Catch 'em?
kind of
Ash catching on Pokemon?
outside the games and
That
has been
Ash.
manipulating things, has been messing with the arena and that kind of thing. And then now she's like, all right, we're gonna go back to the roots. We're gonna go back to the legacy, and that's why.
Is
arena
that a playable character, Ash, or no?
Ash is not currently a playable
Okay.
character. Yeah, everybody else though is. So yeah, new weapon, the bow check. I've used it.
Hawes, you would like that.
Really, really good. Hits super hard. There's a couple of different attachments that you can add to it. So one of them scatters the shot, and then one of them allows you to shoot faster. So those are both pretty cool.
And does it have lob on it? And,
No. So it's
the arrows
like, if you
perfectly-
pull it all the way back, that thing
It's
is
like it's basically a
perfectly
hit
straight.
scan projectile. It's just
and
gonna,
it's so much fun.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
That's great.
Just hit a couple other just real high level things for the new release, and then we can move on. Sure. So there are 3 different maps in the rotation. The newest one is called Olympus, and there's been like an invasion, like of a fleet of mysterious ships, and one of the things that they're carrying is this weird plant. Thing that's invaded the landscape of the entire map, and it's like destroying it, and don't know what it means yet, but it's kind of altering the map as the season goes on, which is really cool. So that's another thing that's happening. They've added emotes, which is hilarious that it's taken over 2 years, but now you can emote. If your team wins at the end, you can emote now. It's really funny, and it adds a little bit of flavor and a little bit to the character.
Emotes are way more exciting than most people would realize.
They're hilarious,
There's so
too.
much fun. In Destiny, I loved them. It was all about opening engrams, getting that new emote. And it's fun.
Yeah,
It's a way to be creative and show off something you've earned. I think it's fun.
Yeah, definitely. So so they added that. That's exciting. And then just 2 quick other things.
Yeah.
Low profile characters is no longer a thing. So to explain that a little bit,
Yeah.
basically a low profile character takes more damage than a regular character, 5%. And the reason for that is because the different size characters have different hitboxes. So the people are having a hard time hitting them and doing damage. And in this case, those characters now don't take that extra damage because they fixed the hitboxes.
Got it.
So that's actually a big deal. People were really pissed off about the damage reduction, or excuse me, the damage increase on some of these characters. They're very popular characters.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I know hitboxes matter a lot too. Because I
yeah.
always played a female character just to have
They
a
tend
smaller
to-
hitbox.
Yeah,
right. And
I always
that's
did
why
that.
I
that's
did
Counter
still the
Strike.
case,
Yeah.
but they've sort of fixed that a little
And I like
bit.
looking at that booty, you know what I'm saying?
Oh gosh.
Yeah, single player can't like Fallout. Why choose the male? You're always the third person behind. You might as well
Yeah.
look at something you enjoy. You know what I
That's
mean?
that's
So
a topic of
cleavage,
discussion
baby.
for
So
sure.
I don't mean to steal
No.
anything, but yeah, you could please finish.
No, that's fine. I want to get through it so we can get to I think maybe the last segment or one of the last ones. But the last thing is, and this is a big one. I'd saved it for last because it's a big deal for people
Huge.
that play.
Okay.
Lifeline's combat revive no longer has a shield. So for those that don't play the game, this is a big deal. Lifeline in the middle of a fight can revive
Yes.
like wirelessly their down teammates.
Yeah.
And it created this huge shield.
That's meta change.
I know what you're talking
it's
about.
so nuts. It would be annoying, and there's no cooldown. So if their team goes down, just starts to res them, continues to fight, drops a shield, runs to the other person, starts to res them.
It's like an
continues to
ultimate
fight.
medic.
And you
almost.
can't do that anymore. Is that what we're saying?
So you can still res them remotely, which is great, but there's no shield. There were tons
give
of
take.
times.
Sounds
where-
like it should be that way.
I agree. There were tons of times where it's
Little OP.
2v2. Our team against another team, and I am wrecking this team. About to win. And we lose because of their positioning and their ability. I have to kill the whole team.
They all get resurrected.
So-
yeah.
So annoying.
So, Rich,
Yeah.
you said you were able to play this. How satisfying was it to know that that is no longer a thing?
I mean, it was my biggest complaint of everything. Every time we would get so pissed off. A buddy of mine that I play with, Matt, I mean, that is the thing that we said, like, it needs to have a bigger cooldown. Something needs to change because it's Like they're just dropping res shields on people every time. Like there's videos of people were cracking up watching. There's like reaction videos of a guy who literally reses his teammate like 12 times. Just like in the same fight.
That's too overpowered.
It is. So
Like,
now there's no shield.
Way too many times.
That is amazing. So now I can throw a grenade at him. Man, it's so much better. So for my Apex fans, my fellow Apex fans, that is probably my favorite update. And arenas is cool.
Yeah, I'm so glad we touched on this because I know like kind of like how we're talking about with Fortnite, like Apex is a free to play game.
Yeah.
It's very popular in the gaming world, and because there's this big update, I thought that it was very beneficial for us to kind of discuss that and get everybody's point of view now. In a non-gaming related news, but something that I think we are big fans of.
Mm-hmm. You brought up Mars. Oh, I wanted to tell you.
Exactly.
Last time you said you had a ticket to Mars.
I got a ticket to Mars.
I got going on the interwebs, and I was like, how did he get this ticket? And when I thought, well, if he gives him a ticket, how's he going? And I found it. Right. Well, anyways, I'm kind of joking around. I am a SpaceX lover. I have been for years. I'd give Elon money for this company if he'd allow me, but it's still private. I think it might be public in the future. But kind of what you're seeing on the screen here is SN15. This is their 15th iteration of the Starship. This Starship is going to go on top of a very large booster when we go to Mars. But this top piece you're looking at has the capability to go to exit the atmosphere essentially and then land nominally. So this is a big deal. This is the reason why we're sharing this is that today. It was yesterday. Yesterday, this is the first time it's landed and not blown up. So,
Hell yeah.
We did it.
This is a big deal,
folks.
Yeah.
Do it for the Dogecoin.
So you're seeing liftoff
We
here.
didn't blow up.
SN15 compared to SN10, which they jumped 5 names.
5 better.
There's over 100 changes in the engineering and technology advantages. So to cooling, to fuel, the way the fuel works, the way they pressurize the fuel so when it does the belly flop, when it lands, the fuel doesn't slosh around as much. The landing gear is now different. The way the fins flap are different. The heat shields, you'll see different heat shield textiles on it. They're testing out other materials to figure out which one's going to work best when they re-enter the atmosphere.
The heat shields, guys. The heat shield.
The heat shields. So right now what you're seeing is that they're trying to get up to altitude. There are 3 Raptor engines currently firing.
Are those Raptor engines?
Yes.
Got it.
They will slowly turn one off at a time. Yeah. So what they'll get to the max height they want to reach. They start firing engines. They start running on one engine. They start tilting the beast. Tilting the Starship. They turn the third and last engine off, and it goes into a skydiver free fall. This was something that SpaceX came up with. So essentially, it uses its flaps, and it uses them as you would your appendages if you were to skydive in the air. You're going to get to see this. You're going to get to see this in action in a moment. But that way, it can control its pitch and its yaw and how it re-enters the Earth's atmosphere. It's actually really impressive. But they put the GoPro on one of these fins, and you're going to get to see it moving and the camera angle move. So if you can roll it right here.
Go ahead.
Somebody
Right
plays
here.
Microsoft Flight Simulator.
I am. It is going.
It is great.
Y'all.
Oh, it's frozen. Yeah, you'll if you go forward a little further.
All right,
good. Now it's all the engines just shut off. So the third just finally shut off, and you can really see that it's changing its direction. Unfortunately, there's a lot of camera feed issues here.
Yeah.
Freezing. It was a cloudy day.
Yeah.
But here we go. Now you can see.
So what you're saying is they're falling with style.
Yeah, they're falling with style, and we can't see it.
It's
so
like every 20
here we
seconds.
go.
It's like, oh, it's back
you
again.
see
No,
how
it's not.
Once it gets going here, you'll see how the camera
feeds
angle is
up.
changing a little bit.
Feeds
It's because the
It's on a
feeds
flap.
down.
Exactly. It's that moving flap.
Oh, it landed.
It was in the middle. Yeah, I was getting ready to land. So, but if you go back just a few more moments, I want to show our viewers the landing. Unfortunately, the other clips of this machine. Here we go.
It's so sick.
They looked a lot better, but they all exploded, right? So this one,
It
they
looks
nailed
really
the landing.
good.
Yeah.
As it blew up.
They nailed the landing, but there's a lot of clouds and everything. But I think this is a pivotal moment in our human history. I want to share this with the viewers. We're
awesome.
literally making reusable rockets.
Dude, that looks like a dick.
Yeah, it does.
Hardcore. I'm sorry.
Once it has the bottom booster and the top Starship on it, it is going to be good for over 200 tons to take to space. And
Wow. I can't wait
200
to go to
tons.
Mars.
This is enough to accommodate.
Spend all my Dogecoin.
This is enough to accommodate 200 human beings to go to Mars and to give them shelter while they're flying, to give them food, enough cargo to for you to go on a vacation around the moon for a long weekend. So
it's hard
this
pass.
is literally
Not gonna do that.
the
No.
technology
You
that's
don't wanna
going to
do
take Nick's
No.
ticket.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I love it. Don't send Matt Damon.
Don't send Matt.
You'll get stuck.
Yeah. Well, he's a botanist, right, or whatever.
Yeah, he's gonna make potatoes
The
with his
Martian?
poop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
It's a
great
great
book.
movie.
It's a better book.
Guys.
It's a great book.
Oh,
Is
book-
Matt Damon in the book?
Go read
He's on the cover of one of them. It literally is a great book. It's way better than the movie. And the movie's great.
I have enthusiasm with this. I want to continue to share content like this. It's very rare when we get these major leaps and these awesome achievements. So I thought this was something fun for the viewers. It's fun for me to talk about, and then and I like sharing it with my friends.
Very
so.
cool to see, and then we can get to make dick jokes
Yes,
about the rocket.
which
Huge
is, I mean,
phallus.
that's the most important part of it.
The
Is it
Austin
not?
Powers situation.
It's a
which is
reusable
It looks
flying
like a
dick.
giant
Pay attention.
peanuts.
or no, it's
Get your peanuts.
Wang, pay attention.
Is that one or two? It's two, right?
I think it's
yeah, because he's
both.
coming back.
Yes.
He's like,
Dr. Evil.
Wang, pay attention. Pay attention. Dude, yeah, all of it.
The big boy. I like the big boy.
Looks
in
like
that
a
one.
giant. Yeah.
He's like, in many ways, Big Boy never left, sir.
Oh my gosh.
Cool.
But yeah, and
This is
then,
awesome. Good way to end the night, I think.
I think so.
I think so too, guys. I am super excited. I didn't know that this happened, so this is news to me. And now
News
that-
should be talking about this.
Yes,
They should.
Exactly.
But they
Well,
don't.
due to the fact that Elon is literally going to hand deliver a ticket to Mars for me, so now I'm just planning on. I have to plan his arrival to
Right.
my house so he can do this. So I
Well-
think this is a great time to end.
Yeah, well, you're gonna have to come here because he's gonna come get the sugar daddy money from Haas.
Yeah. 15.
So
Dogecoin.
basically, I'm moving in. I'm moving in here. Is
Oh,
exactly what
you
we're
ready?
talking about. Yeah, perfect.
Gotcha.
I might just sleep in the studio.
I mean, half your like
Half my equipment is here anyway.
half
so
your
yeah,
work is here, right? Yeah.
Exactly. My whole life is here anyway. So
We're gonna carpool to the ride.
exactly,
to
guys.
the
Exactly.
starter.
Are we gonna carpool to Mars? Or are we gonna switch off and like?
We were gonna starship pool. To
Okay,
Mars.
okay,
Yes.
okay,
We'll
cool.
we'll carpool
You guys
to
can
the
listen to little
starship.
Nicki
And
Minaj
we're
on the
gonna
way
all
up.
get in the starship.
Starships.
Oh, is that an?
Thank you guys for episode 2 of multiplayer mode.
Multiplayer mode.
Multiplayer mode. Rich, do you want to do the like and subscribe thing? Do you want to try it?
No, I don't want.
Okay, guys, if you like the
I was not expecting that.
If you like the video, guys, please like it. Please subscribe to my channel. We are going to be putting these out every Friday. And on top of it, there will be some Pokemon card openings and things like that going along the way week by week. So my name is Hype Stadium. We got Professor, what was your name today?
You can call me Elon Musk Sugar Daddy.
Okay, Elon Musk Sugar Daddy. We got Ridge. We got Scotty 2 Hands and 2 Feet. This is multiplayer mode, y'all. Take it easy.
And remember to turn on notifications.